Family businesses are complicated. In many occasions, they create situations where close family relationships face the demands and pressures of business. These situations bring forth unique challenges and issues that are totally different from those experienced in non-family managed organizations. Problems like succession planning, conflicts of interest, and even setting up governance structure can be tough to deal with.
The crossroad of business and family relationships can create unique circumstances that can either flourish talents or leave the best and the brightest confused. How about you? Would these objections make sense to you?
Do we really need a third party to mediate and resolve our challenges?
That saying that goes, don't make a long-term, lifetime decision based on temporary emotion really resonates with me, especially when it comes to family relationships. Because it's really important that when you're angry or feeling emotional, you don't make those choices right away, and you call in someone who can help you be neutral about the decisions you make in a conflict. And that's why with Premier, they were able to build that trust as a mediator to help us soundly bring in the emotions and the logical part and really make better decisions.
Premier's intervention is just too expensive. Others are less expensive than them.
In our family businesses, we've hired a lot of consultants in our time, both local and international. And compared to some of those, Premier really isn't expensive. For one thing, you've got a much bigger and diverse team than we normally would get from consulting firms. So you have a lot of specialty that you can draw on. And that's what we liked about Premier. We thought they were good value for money, especially given the amount of contact hours you actually have with the team.
This makes sense. Seems good. We need this. But not now yet. We are still okay.
As you said, 9 out of 10 family business sadly fails. And of course, that's the reason why I want to share with you, and I was also invited, that I don't want these things to happen. So we were great business partners with my dad. We worked closely together for, I think, 15 years. He was just about, but when he was pushing 70s, suddenly there were some challenges that he was not prepared, as well as I was not prepared. And those challenges are his age, his authority over the business, and how he will pass on to the succeeding generation. Remember, it was a rare opportunity to have met John and his staff, the Premier Group, that has this science and tools to create a matrix to prevent things from happening. A new science of succession family enterprise, which is really very vital to a successful family business and how it transcends to the next generations. We're very fortunate to have John and his organization, the Premier Group, to be available when we need them. I think I should correct that. It's not when we need them. It's when we still don't need them. That's when we should ask for them to assist. Because when the time comes we need them, more often than not, it's so difficult to untie the challenges that we'll be faced with in family conflicts. What they consider success is not what we consider success. What we consider success probably in our generation is hard work. From point A, we go to point B to point C. The millennials believe that they can draw wisdom on their own, and from point A, they believe they can go to point C. So we have to find a compromise or a healthy way of bringing these two generations into a synergy. If not, it will be a source of conflict. The millennials have their strength, but they also have their weakness. And if we don't recognize the strength and the weakness, that will become a very, very powerful conflict if we don't address it as early as now. And if we think we can just sweep it under the carpet, you're just waiting for a time bomb. So it's really important that all of us recognize that there is this need to address it, even if there is still no conflict seen. It's better prepared than it explodes in your face and nobody wants to touch it. It's too sensitive. That's when it's really trouble. Anyone probably below 50 or below 60 won't feel this yet, but you should anticipate, because by the time you push mid 60s or late 60s or early 70s, that's the time you feel you don't want to let go. As of now, you probably all feel that what's the problem letting go? But by that time, you'll hang on to your authority, you'll hang on to your influence, because you feel you become insignificant. As of now, you are the prime mover, the power of your companies. But by the time you reach late 60s, you won't feel that. And that's when all the emotions will come to play, and everything will not be done in a business-like, but will be mixed up with emotions, and the relationship becomes blurry with regards to, is this a business relation? Is this a professional relationship with your kids? It becomes all blurry because of emotions. And what causes that emotion is simply aging. Letting go doesn't mean, okay, at age 50 or 60, you have all the authority, I give you everything. Letting go is creating the process, the mechanisms of how we should conduct ourselves when we reach 50, when we reach 60, when we reach 70, and all of your kids have their own families. This mechanism should be in place. If the mechanisms are not in place, then chaos might come. So just be prepared, even if you think there will be no problem, because problem strikes when it's least expected. If you establish mechanisms as early as 50 or even 60, you create a win-win situation for the next generation. You go through a process that what they will be happy with and what you will be happy with. You will combine the two needs so that by the time you reach 70, they will understand your needs and you will also understand their needs. That's very critical. You have to project and you have to anticipate what are your needs then and how you will address it, and what are the mechanisms that you need to address so you can pursue what you want to happen and what they want to happen when you reach 60 or 70.
Better get somebody outside Cebu, since Cebu is just small and they are from Cebu. Would word about us become known soon if we hire from Cebu?
I find that in the Philippines, many times there is no line between business and personal, and that makes it really difficult, especially with community relationships. And with the Premier team, they're very professional, and sometimes being professional means that you have to draw the line of ethics. They were able to build that sense of not just familial trust with us, but also trust with us in a business sense. And that's what makes it most effective when dealing with very, very sensitive issues.
Let's just send our people to trainings and courses and just do it ourselves. Could we just do it ourselves and save?
Our family actually experienced in the early years a lot of emotional upheaval in the organization of the business. When we didn't have specialized in, our board meetings would get very heated and emotional because there was a lot more involved when you're working with family than just pure professionalism. So we wanted to bring people in who could help us be more professional. And that's one reason why we brought Premier in, because they are specialists who know about running a family business. And when maybe sometimes things might get a bit heated, we knew that we could go to them for an objective opinion and expertise.
A lot of building family culture is a very personal matter. And so when you're super close to a topic or an issue, a lot of times we can't really see it from a bigger perspective. Having a third party there helps you broaden your perspective, helps you open your eyes to other perspectives, and even challenge your own perspective. And that's really important because just like having a sounding board, it's important to not just validate your concerns or talk about issues, but with that, really, you can see it more as a long-term investment because none of this happens overnight. It takes a while, and having someone there to help you through the process is really helpful.
Manila is the center of the Philippines. People there are generally better. If we can afford it, why settle for someone from Cebu only?
Well, we're a Cebu-based business, so we disagree that people in Manila are better than people in Cebu. In fact, we think there are a lot of Cebuano values that help us a lot in business. And we think that Premier is one of those businesses that have great Cebuano values. We have used Manila consultants in the past, and we found that a lot of the time was spent just emailing each other. While with Premier, it was different. We had a lot of face-to-face contact, and we found the warmth and direct communication really helpful, especially when it came to talking to the diverse group of our family members, right? Some of which were very old and some were very young. It was really useful when we put the family constitution together because if we were just relying on emails, we never would have heard from most of our family.
What's happening to our family is very sensitive. It's not advisable to get an outsider.
A lot of building family culture in business is very personal. And when we're too close to a matter, sometimes, we have those horse hooves where we're just looking straight and we can't see outside. And so with having a third-party perspective, not only are you allowed or encouraged to open up your eyes and see other perspectives, but your own perspective's challenged, and in this way you realize what you really want and what you would really like. This thinking out loud process doesn't happen overnight, so really it's a long-term investment.
As partners of family businesses who inspire and influence family unity and sustainability of wealth across generations, Premier Family Business Consulting has uniquely put together 4 interconnected pillars of family, business, and ownership in a family enterprise plan. A holistic program that is aimed at strengthening your family's foundations, your relationships, and shared core ideologies, while carefully making fundamental preparations for a sustainable family enterprise management. The family will be able to be more aware of their own family business challenges, to embrace the science and realities of family business, learning together concepts and theories as one family, to build shared vision, mission, and core values in one direction as one family, to practice and enhance communication and conflict resolution skills, to build cohesive family relationship and create consensus in making decisions, co-leadership in managing the family business and sharing power in leading, to seek alignment of family and business, ownership and financial directions, to create governance mechanisms and embracing change, to anticipate transfers of ownership and control, to transcend ownership into stewardship of wealth. The FEP is a process affirmed by the oldest and most prestigious multidisciplinary professional association for family enterprise in the world, which is the Family Firm Institute. Indeed, Premier Family Business Consulting is a game changer in the industry. With a team of talented and multidisciplinary consultants working together, there is no doubt that your family business will flourish even more. Our passion to inspire and influence families and business fuels us to be the best in our craft. And we believe that through our mission, that is uniting families, we are setting a trail for generations to come.
Let's show each other respect. Do not be afraid to share what